Hi YouTube, and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be the first review of the TV series, the many sides of Jane. And I got a couple of notes wrote down here in my notebook, and this video is going to be off of season 1, episode 1, Who Am I? So initially what interests me in the series is the fact that, of course, it was sort of documenting a woman that actually has the disorder, and just what she's going through and things like that. So that alone was interesting for me. But getting into the show, her name is Jane. She has dissociative identity disorder, and that's a newer term for multiple personalities disorder. So, and throughout the show, she mentions just the abbreviation for it, DID. And I thought it was interesting, as she brought up a lot in the episode as well, as the stigma or the view that media has given someone that has that struggles with multiple personalities and parts, how they seem to be psychotic in a sense, or dangerous, or a person that kills someone, and just the role that it's been given in previous shows and movies and everything like that. So I thought it was, first of all, really brave for her to share this side of her. But also, I feel like mental health is only changed when we're honest and take responsibility and use any platform that we can. And that is something that she definitely did. So getting into the episode, I thought it was a great first episode. It laid the groundwork for a lot of the things that's to come in the shows, and it gave me like a initial view of what it is and what it's like to have multiple parts. And one thing that I really like that they used is multiple parts. She used, these are parts of me, and to me that was in a sense of owning and living in your truth. A lot of times when with my experience of people that have mental disorders, they sort of separate themselves from the issue. So if it's whatever it is that they have, be it OCD or anything, they separate themselves from what it actually is. And I feel, this is just my personal opinion, that in order to work through or work with a disorder that's possibly with you for the rest of your life, accepting it and owning it is like anything else, the first thing you do before you address an issue that's in your life. And it makes it a lot more easier for you to move forward and confront the challenges and see what it is that you can do to work through the challenges. And that, I feel, she did a great job of doing. One thing, one of the things that she said that stuck out with me is, she said, my goal is not to get rid of my parts, but to have them all work together. And that was awesome, amazing, and everything, like all in one. Because when you think about just the mere fact of having, and she has 9 different parts to her, and they're all different ages, like 6 and 10 and 28 and 17. And when you look, if you're not, like, obviously I don't have it, but if I had it, I tried to put myself in that position as much as I could. And it's like, how do you have all of these parts to you, and how do you have them work together? And how do you, when another part comes in and when another part leaves, that has to be frustrating for her. It has to be taxing on her as well as it is for everyone else around her. And this episode also showed the side of her that in regards to relationships, and how she deals with relationships as well. So I thought, first of all, that was amazing that she brought up the fact that it's not to get rid of her parts, it's to have them all work together. And I think that's an awesome way to approach her disorder, but an awesome way to approach therapy and different goals and things that she can work on while in therapy for it. And I felt she showed a lot of strength in also being a mother, because she does have 2 boys, and I think it's amazing that she chose to do this, because it shows that, yeah, a lot of people feel like if you have a mental disorder, you can't have kids, you can't have a normal job, you can't have a normal relationship. And that to me was the center, and I think it hit me so hard because I do have two special needs children, and just the struggles that comes along with different aspects, and for her to have a disability, or not a disability, a disorder that causes her to lack in certain areas that other people wouldn't, and just to see her show that balance in being a mom, and managing what she's dealing with is awesome. It's amazing. um, Kudos to her for even just stepping into this path and putting herself out there for everybody to see. Um, just amazing. One thing that they showcased on this episode was her relationship with Ryan, which was her boyfriend at the time. They're not together anymore, but to listen to him, in a sense, in my opinion, it almost sounds as if he was blaming her for the disorder, because he said like, oh, it's so hard, and when I deal with Madison, she's this way and that way, which is another one of her parts, and when I deal with Jane, it's a different part, and it was almost as if he was attacked. Like, I felt like he was attacking her in a sense, because after every comment that he made that was negative or downing in a sense to the issues that she deal with, she was saying like, it's nothing I can do about it. Like, it's nothing that she can do about it. But I feel like a certain type of way when people enter in relationships, when they know the person has a mental disorder, it's something that you're walking into knowingly. So I feel like it's something that you should be able to work on or give leeway to, especially when you know that it's not their fault. So that part was a little hard and disturbing for me to watch, because he just sort of had this attitude that was just like, this is what you do, this is what you do. It was almost like a jab each time he said it, without regard to how she in fact feels. Like, he never turned the conversation around and said, well, hey, if it's like this for me, I can't imagine what it's like for you. And what do you think we can do working going forward in a relationship when this part arrives and when this part comes in? What do you think I should do, or how do you think I should handle it? Or maybe I should go see someone in order for me to better communicate and work with you in a relationship. And it just didn't seem like he was open to that at all. So eventually at the end of the show, I think it was either that show or the second episode that I realized that they weren't together anymore. So it was just, overall, I thought the episode was a great opener. It laid a really good foundation and groundwork as to where it's headed in the future. But what I got ending this episode was, relationships is a struggle. It's a struggle for anybody that doesn't have a disorder and is not dealing with anything, but it's especially harder when you have a mental health issue. And I think that's one of the major causes and the major reason why mental health needs to be brought out more, because people suffer with these disorders, and a lot of times they suffer in silence. Some people, I imagine, probably don't even disclose to people that they're with that, hey, I have this, I have OCD, or I have depression, or I have anxiety disorder, because the fear of the other person not understanding and not being able to work with them and blaming them. And it's just, I feel like that's one of the biggest issues, is with the world understanding mental health disorders and mental health in general. So I feel like this is going to be a great show, especially for me being in school for mental health counseling. I thought it was just awesome to see. I hope you guys enjoyed this review. Leave me your comments below on how did you feel about the way that her boyfriend at the time reacted, and how did you feel about the comments that he said, and how did you feel about just the opening of the show? I thought it was a great opener. I can't wait to see the rest of the episodes, and I'll talk to you guys later. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.